Test, test. I don't know if this phone works, but hello, good evening. We work. Okay, so I am in, oh, hello, welcome to my my market vlog video. We're packing. My husband's over there helping me out with painting. Hello.
We get to make one. You always watch them, and I get to make one.
Yeah, we finally get to make a market vlog video. So hi, welcome to my first market vlog. So I have almost everything tagged here. I have like this, if you see it. And then on the back is this. So what I need to do is start packing this, get it all in bags at least, so we can like pack the car tonight, because boy, oh boy, I'm not ready. We're going to do this on the floor. Oh, hello. We're going to do this on the floor because I don't know where else to do this, but I'm going to show you guys as I pack. So first we start off with the vintage lace bandanas. I'm selling them for 35 bucks. So I have 3 of those. They're going to go in a bag, because we don't know if we can fit everything into my husband's car. We're trying to just pack everything into one car. We'll see. Then we have, I don't know what I called these. These are bat wing bandanas. They're sparkly. We have 4 of these, and then we have 2 in bamboo flavor. So the bamboo ones, these ones are going to be 30, and then the regular ones are going to be 25. This is a yarn that no longer exists. It's Lion Brand Date Nights, whereas the bamboo one is Trubu. I don't remember, Trubu Sparkling, something like that. I just remembered I wanted to inventory everything. So luckily I remembered that before I got too deep in. So let me write that down. This is a notebook. My husband has like a little separate journal for us. I should have done this a long time ago. I know. But like, I'm also really bad at this stuff, and I procrastinate everything. So, okay, no more talking. Next up, we have the scene. No, not the scene. This is the rave. What is it called? Rave. Oh, it's just rave bandana. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in orange, and then 3 in pink. These yarns also probably will not be made again, because Hirschner's brought it in, and Michael's brought out the rights. I learned more about the rights of this, and it just seems that Hirschner's got a big bulk of it, and that's about it. Michaels has the ownership, and Michaels will probably do what Michaels does best and let things sink. Also, those are priced at $20 each. So most of my bandanas are around the same price range if it's like a simple pattern, but everything, like, I try not to do simple patterns. Next up is this, what did I call it? Striped Pico bandana, 25 each. And then I have the shell stitch bandana. This is bamboo, so this is going to be 30 each. So my bamboo ones start in the $30 range. My acrylic ones start in the $20 range. And I think that's all the bandanas I have. I probably have more, but I got to do some digging for that. All right, so we're moving on to the berets. So starting off with the Universe berets, there's 3 of them. I have them priced at 30 because they're smaller. My berets start at the $30 range, and they'll go up from there. But this is a Universal XL yarn. RIP to my not Hirschner's, why do I do this? Hobie addiction, because of tariffs, I can no longer purchase it. Then we got 3 of the rave ones. So these ones are 35 because they're bigger, and this yarn is this is just a plain. So yeah, 35. Sorry if it feels like I'm rushing through everything, because I kind of sort of am. But it's like, what time is it? It's 11 p.m. So I have plenty of time. I have enough time, but I just kind of want to rush through this so that like I can get through it. So next we have 4 of these ones. This is the sparkle beret. They're Halloween sparkle, but I plan on making more in this kind of color. Well, not this colorway, but this kind of yarn. This is another Hirschner's yarn, and this is the Halloween sparkle yarn. There are other holiday yarns that I want to purchase in the future. If I make enough money, I definitely want to buy some of like the Valentine's Day. They haven't labeled it Valentine's Day, but it's Valentine's Day-ish, and use that as a beret base, especially since like it can kind of mix with Christmas. Not that I plan on doing Christmas markets, but it can cross over. So that's important. Did I mention how much it was? Because I have it priced at 35. Next up after this one are one of my showstopper pieces, and they are my mushroom berets. So I have my showstopper pieces. I'm going to have them sitting on the right side. You all will see it tomorrow when I set it up. but because there's a little bit more work to it instead of just a plain worked up beret, I have them priced at $40. On my Etsy, I have them $10 higher, but that's not really important for this market. So I have 3 of these, and then I'll show you the actual showstopper piece, and then I'll give you some more tidbits about that one. So this one is my big showstopper piece. I had to make an emergency purchase because I had somebody purchase it off of Etsy. It's my spiderweb berets. This particular one glows in the dark, and it's probably not going to be able to see very well. Yeah, you can kind of see it working. I will be better when I show you guys tomorrow at the market later at night, I think. I don't know if there's like a spot under here you guys can see it a little bit better, but yeah, a little bit. But yeah, so I have I have 2 in this colorway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total. And these ones are also going to be priced at $40, $10 cheaper than my Etsy. But yeah, this is the actual showstopper piece, and I'm very excited to show this one off. Now I'm going to move on to a slightly different thing. I do have more wearables, but I don't have much room in this bag anymore. So I'm going to move on to these little amigurumi plushes. I have 8 of these, 4 different colorways. I can barely hold on to them, but I did go back in and restructure some of them because some of them were pretty bad. Some of this just got dog hair on it. I'm going to have to like relook at them when I get there. But there's 8 of these. I have them priced at $10 each. I don't expect to sell these. I think this is one of those attention grabbing ones for me in general, because like I don't want to be known as a plushie maker. I'm not an amigurumi artist. I am a fashion or a wearable artist. So just wanted to have these here just in case anybody wanted, like, I feel like $10 is much cheaper than other things that I have. So if anybody wants to support me, I have something a little bit cheaper. So this bag is full now. I'm going to set this to the side and find another bag. I know I have other bags around this house because I like bags. I like reusable bags. This is a bag from some kind of gotcha place that we went to. So I'm going to put this to the side, find another bag. I think I see one right there. So we're going to move on some clothing items from here. So I'm going to start off with these collars, these little back collars. I'm going to price them at $20. I haven't gotten around to them because I just put them on or just finished them not too long ago. And I just, whatever. I bought this at, what's it called? Ollie's Bargain Market. And if you look at the bottom, it says Hild and Joe, $2. This is from Joann. So I plan on hanging my collar from here and then having the other ones like tucked in the back like that. But kind of like this. I was thinking about hanging them on a hanger on my clothing rack, but I think it'd be cuter on this and a little bit more showy. So we're going to price them right now. I have my little hole puncher. It has a little star on it. And, well, I don't need the hole puncher right now because I already have some cut out. But I have my little handy-dandy thing. I got to write on the back what it is and then find a way to tie it on and then stick it in my bag. All right, so I figured that I don't really want to poke holes in the fabric. So what I'm doing instead is I'm poking a hole through the little neck thing, the bust, and then they can flip it over. That way it hangs. You know what I'm saying? They can flip it over and we'll have the extras in the back. So I have 3 of these. Yes. So next up we have the defrosting skelly shrug. I have 3 made, but I have one that's been sitting over in my pile of whips forever, and it just needs to be done is all. I'm planning on bringing that and finishing it up while at the market. So we have 3 of these. I am going to sell them for $50 each. I think they could go for higher, but for the type of market we're going to, and on top of that, the economy we're going in, I think 50 is fine. I make enough revenue, I guess, off of the pattern itself, so I'm not too concerned. I guess I'm concerned. I am, but like, also this has been something that's freeing for my mind. Like most of the crochet stuff that I do it because my brain likes to have something to do in the background, and it's not because I want to make money. The reason why I'm doing the market is so I can make some money so I can continue my hobby, not because I want to be an entrepreneur. I mean, I would love to be a fashion designer. That's the ultimate goal. But yeah, it's Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? I need to remember to bring a measuring tape because I have these shorts and these are reconstructed. My very first pair of shorts, I made them very poorly. And when I went back in to reconstruct it, to fix it up, it just ended up way too small for me. So if I bring my measuring tape, I won't forget what the size is. Ooh, I got some thread in here that I need to cut off. So I think I'm going to just price this at 15 because I know it's a much bigger piece than my back collar, but it has been pre-worn. And on top of that, it's just one of those I want to get it out of the house, get it out of the closet. So I think 15 is fine. Let me double check with my husband. I want to make sure that I know I'm underselling myself, but whatever. Okay, so my husband and I both agree 15 bucks is pretty fair for this. I kind of measured it out. It's about 27 inches wide, which is closer to child size, which is perfect because I don't really have anything for children in my booth. So that's pretty great. And then I have a couple other clothes. I have a lot to pack. For that, I'm going to just like hang them from these guys and then use the little, because I don't want to poke any holes. Plus, I don't really have that many clothes hangers. Okay, so I got to tie this, but I'm going to have it hanging. And then on the, you know, this one makes me extremely sad to part with, but it doesn't fit. I struggle getting it over my head. I struggle with getting it on my arms, and I just don't want to feel that anymore. This top, it's so stinking cute. I was really, really happy with it. It's bedsheet fabric, and also it's like I don't remember what the fabric is called, but it's layered and very, very sad to get rid of it. But it should be going to a good home. It's not the best condition. It's not the best work I've had. So this one's also going to be 15 bucks. I will be very happy when it finds a good home. This one's a little sad to part with as well, but I just never reach for it. And the last time I did, I gave myself a major wedgie. So this is the cow print top. Jumper. This is a 1940s like swimsuit pattern. I think that the way that it's cut right here, I don't like that it goes too low. So that's why I have it like pinched in at the top. And because I did that, it gives me a wedgie. So unfortunately, I will have to part with this. I think I'll do 20 for this one just because like this is one of my better works. And yeah, this makes me sad. I think I need to go find the measurements because I think it's a 36-inch bust. So I'm going to write that on the card and I'm going to hang it over the hanger and blah, 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 blah. This is another set that I never really reached for, but I made it because I had this fabric in my stash. And it's like this kind of vest thing. It's this vest and this overskirt. I don't ever wear it, but I think somebody could get good use out of it. So I think I'm going to sell it for 20 bucks as well because it's 2 pieces. I think it could go for less. If I was selling them individually, I could sell them for like 10 bucks each. So I am just going to do 15 or 20 for the both of them. This one makes me also extremely sad to part with. It's one of the first ones I ever did my own freeform appliques for sewing. It's just simply way too small, way too short. Every time I reach for it, I'm disappointed by the way it fits. And it's this guy. The shorts I will still keep just because the shorts do fit and I do have other things that I could wear with it. This, I'm so sad. This fabric, the spiderweb fabric, I got it at Joann. It was like one of the last Halloween special fabrics that they had. And RIP, will never get that fabric ever again. So I think I'm going to sell this one for also 15 bucks. The quality isn't the best. And on top of that, like the buttons, they're so cute. Maybe I'll do 20. Yeah, I think I'll do 20 for this because like it was one of the first times I ever worked with a colored linen too. The quality isn't that great. This is also like a vintage tablecloth. I'll do 15 because it's small, it's short. I'm so sad. I hope you go to a good home. I really do. I think this is last for the clothing category. I'm also sad. I'm sad to part with all of them because, to be honest, all the clothes that are in this pile are clothes that I have worn. I made for a purpose and they just don't fit me. And I'm okay with that. Yeah. I do plan on in the future making things, well, besides the collars, the back collars, those are the first things I had planned to sell. I do in the future plan on making more clothes that are purposely for other people. But these ones, because time got away from me and I wasn't able to get everything done that I wanted. The clothes I have in here are all clothes that I've been meaning to get rid of anyways. And so here we are. This one I made last year specifically to go to Dollywood. And I tried to wear it last Wednesday to go to HHN because it was finally perfect weather. It was cold enough, like not cold, but like cool enough to wear long sleeves. And it just doesn't fit me properly. It doesn't fit in my neck area because I have a shorter neck. And also my arm area, it's a little bit tighter. This is pre-learning that you need to wash all your fabrics before you make clothes. So here it is. It is my cowboy top. I should probably iron it down. I'm going to sell it for like, I'll do 20 for this one so that people aren't like, they'll see it and be like, oh, that's a intricate top, only 20 bucks, and then forgive me for the iron. I should iron it down, but I really don't have any time. So if I have time in the morning, then maybe I will. But at this point, I'm just trying to get everything in bags. So right here, I did my own embroidery. So I just kind of freehanded this. Same with this side. I think this side is a little bit better. But also, like, I did mess up down here somewhere at the plackets. I don't remember what they're called, but I think I can be forgiven. It just doesn't fit me, and I'm very, very sad about it. But I know this will go to a good home. The area that we're selling in. So if you don't know, I am selling at the Wicked Wilds market. It's the first time it's ever happened. It's going to be like storytellers. It's going to be more, not oddities based. I think it's going to be more child friendly. But also Plant City is where our strawberry festival is held. So there's a lot more farmers. I will say Central Florida area has had a huge, huge boom since 2020. And it's gradually started getting bigger since before then too. But like 2020 was a huge boom. And I'm sure you guys know why. But that area historically is known for farming, specifically strawberries. That's why we have the strawberry festival out there. Even our state fair, I think, is in the same area. It's not in Plant City, but Plant City used to be one of those smaller areas outside of Tampa, and it's huge now. But I think it will attract somebody that's into this kind of culture, and maybe it will encourage me to make more. Maybe not. I don't know. I every now and then try to dabble in different fashion, and sometimes I want to get into a Western wear, but I don't think Western wear loves me. So 20 bucks for this guy. Sad to see it go. It got one day of love. It got to see Dollywood, and I will get to tell the person who purchases this that it's been to Dollywood before. Oh, I'm going to cry. I'm getting emotional about my clothes. All right, so to finish off this bag, I'm just going to stick this on top. We have 21 candy with, what's it called? Amigurumi plushes hanging. So these are all singles, and I'm not going to count them for each individual kind because I have some ducks and then I have some zombies. This one I might do again in the future. This one says I heart boobies, and I think that's very cute and very reminiscent of my Seenie Weenie days. And then a lot of them are just like the little basic little ghosties. I may or may not do these again. All of these are going to be $7 each. So I'm just going to put this on top. That way I have some space in here too. But yeah, that's $7. Little easy grab for the little ones if they want. It's a plush, it's candy, it's fun. All right, so last for this bag, I have 15 scrunchies. I have them priced at $5 each, even though these ones are like super mega big. I just want to get rid of them. Honestly, these were all scrap yarn projects, so I just want to get these out of the house. and somewhere else. So I use my scrunchies as bracelets. These ones weren't scrap yarn. I was just working on a project while my sister-in-law was in an appointment or something. It was like a 2-hour appointment. And I'm like, I wonder how many of these I can get done. I know I had at least 2 more, so probably 7. So in the bag they go. 21? What did I say? 15?
21.
21? I have the tiniest bit more space in there, so I have all of these little star barrettes. They're star clips, whatever. I put star clips. So I think there's 8 of them because I have 4 colors. 4? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 8 here. I have them priced at $6 each. So they're going in this bag. I have a tiny bit more room for these two. There's these little zombie ghosties. What did I call them? Yeah, zombie ghosty clip. I didn't price this one, but I have them priced at $6. So there's 5 of these. Yes. All right, back to amigurumi. We have 5 of these little candy corn plushes, and I am selling them for $10 each. I want to get these out of my house. Like, I've had this forever, and I think I tried to sell them online at one point, and then I was like, this ain't for me, and then I quickly removed them, but I think this might actually sell this time around. I might lower the price later throughout the day, really depending. I just want to get rid of them. Now we have 3 last amigurumi. Yeah, 3 last amigurumi pieces. We have this accent pillow. This is made with royal velvet yarn, and it's so soft, and I like it a lot. I just don't have a place for it myself, but I like it. So it's going to go in this pile of amigurumi bag. And then I have 2 more, and these ones are my insignia, my logo. So this one's not the great one, but we have one. Oh, this way. And I have decided to call it Moonlight Dreams, and I am selling at 40. Oh, by the way, accent pillow is going for 30. This one's going to go for 40. This isn't the best one, but somebody might like the way that it's sitting up. I like this one because it's slightly tilted. And this is the one that I plan on displaying. And if this one sells, then I'll put the other one up. But I prefer my moon to be tilted a little bit on the back. And I'm not planning on it selling. I was going to price it higher so that it doesn't sell. But like also, I shouldn't be selfish like that. You know, I feel like it's really greedy to do that. And it's not like, if I don't want it to sell, then I shouldn't be taking it to the market, you know? $40 I think is reasonable. It's not the worst work. And I know I have my defrosting skelly shrug going for 50. It being $10 cheaper than my defrosting skelly shrug and about the same price as the beret, but being a little bit more work than the beret, but less work than the frosting skelly shrug. I think that's an even, we can call it even there. So now I just have a few more things, and then I have my no good pile. Boy, I'm almost done. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really want to tag each individual one of these pieces. So I'm gonna leave them on this little thing my sister-in-law got. And she was gonna use it for her booth, but her booth was a little bit short. So she's like, hey, so you're doing a market, here's this. I'm not using it. So I think I might give it back to her for her artist table market. So that she has something to display her stuff on too. So these little guys right here, I plan on selling for $6 each. And then these are hair dangles. I feel like I should individually label them, but like also, I think these hair dangles I want to sell for 15. That's a lot. Maybe 12. I'll do 12 each. That way, yeah, because I think the stars being $6 and then 2 stars being 12. Because like you can essentially use these as a keychain. You can use them as hair baubles. That's the way I use them. You can, some people, if they're small enough, can use them as like a necklace. Like I tie them around my belt loop sometimes. So I'll have to explain that when people ask. So that's going to be one of those like talking points things. Yeah, so I'm going to separate these a little tiny bit. I did at one point have water bottle slings on here, and I made one for myself recently for my Fallout outfit for opening night of Halloween Horror Nights, and that thing stretched like no other. So I'm going to have to sew on the little to keep it stable because I don't think anybody will feel comfortable buying that and using it. It's the whole market bag thing. If you're a crochet artist, you may know when you make a market bag, it doesn't look as big as it really is when you first make it because it's going to stretch out over time. And it definitely stretched out over time, especially with the humidity of Florida. So I will definitely try to go back in and sew in on the side some fabric, maybe bedsheet fabric. That's all, so that I can feel more comfortable selling it without feeling like I'm ripping somebody off. Okay, floor time's over. Not really, because like I'm still doing floor time over there because I'm still painting like my banner. It's right there. It's almost done. But we're done with like packing all my things, except for like one thing. I have this basket right here, and I want to make this basket like these are all like undesirables to me. They're all stuff that I just, oh, come on. They're all no goods. So I'm going to like put them to the side. If for some reason I start selling a lot of stuff and I need to like replace anything, then I will put it out and be like, hey, ask me for the prices because I just don't want to. Mentally, my brain doesn't want to do it. So I have like a bunch of striped berets. I have some that are like really bad lining on the inside. I have some like these ones I don't feel comfortable selling because, like I said, the lining, and then on top of that, these badges. I didn't make those. I bought them, so I don't feel comfortable selling it. And then I have some like that are too small. And then I have bandanas that are too small. This one, it's a one of a kind. I didn't really like the way that this moon and the moons came out. So yeah, these are all going to go to the side somewhere. I will bring it just in case, but now I got to pack all the hardware. It's a lot, but I have like this guy I need to pack. I have two of these. One, let me just flip y'all around. So I have one, and then I have two, and then I have this wooden guy. Hello. Oop. I'll just take you guys off of there. And I have my little wig thing. I don't remember what it's called, mannequin. And then this was holding another thing. I should probably clean that off, but like honestly, nobody's going to see that. And then I have the thing holding my scrunchies. And then I have this guy that's going to hold all my cards. And this, my husband's going to keep. Oh, also this, we're going to use this as like our cash holder. So I got to pack all these. Oh, I have all my cards in here too. And these guys. So we got to pack all this, get this tablecloth off, get this table in the car. We're going to try to get this all done tonight. Also, I have this pile and this pile. I didn't realize that there were still some in here. I'm just going to save them for the next market. I don't want to. I have 3 bags full of stuff. I really don't want to bring more stuff. So that's it. This started peeling off while I was cleaning it. Dang it. I might just paint over it. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But right now, okay. So we got things packed. There's stuff here. There's stuff here. And there's stuff sitting out. And we're still working on the banner. Yeehaw. Woo. I came on here. I don't remember what I was going to say. Let me regain my thoughts. Hold on. I remember. So 2239. Yeah. So we wrote down everything except for the no goods prices, because I haven't even thought of a price for that. That's a just in case everything sells out type of deal. But if for some reason, I don't think it's going to happen, but with everything, I have 2239 in price. I don't know, not budget. Potential earnings 2239, which is a lot. And that is not my goal. My goal is to make table, and my ultimate goal is to make 300. Sell everything. I don't think that's going to happen, and that's okay if it doesn't happen. I would love to make 300, but that is ultimate goal. 75 bare minimum goal. So, like I said, everything is packed. We're just waiting to get everything into the car. My husband's finishing up his last 2 letters, and then once he's done with that, I will be doing my last 3 letters, because we've kind of been switching off and on for this, because we're old. We're little grannies over here, grannies and grandpies. Our backs hurt. So once that's done and pretty set drying. Oh, do you want to show everybody your bad posture?
Which one?
I think we're gonna let it dry overnight, though I do want to put it inside this little bin right here. We're gonna let it dry overnight, and then that way in the morning, that's the last thing we'll have to pack. So we're gonna try to put the tables in the cart. Oh, I'm not going to pack the clothes rack. I thought about it, but like the more I think about it, the less I want to bring it because it's just so much more to do. We plan on leaving here around 11 and we have 2 hours to set up, which I think will be perfect for us because I had a practice run back here. The only thing I haven't had a practice run for was the second table, but the second table, I'm just laying everything out. So I don't think I really need a practice run on that. And then the tent, my husband set it up. So fun fact, we're borrowing that tent. And the person that we borrowed from had a camo tent, but flip outside is silver. So we're going to have the camo on the inside. It's not matching my brand colors, but this is what we're doing to save money until I can afford my own tent, which it was very kind of them to let us borrow it. It's about time for me to do my 3 letters and then the design is done. Done. Everything is in the car. So we have in the backseat one car. Back seat has the tables, chairs, tent, and then a couple like miscellaneous things that need to go on top of the table. And then in the trunk is where all the goodies are. So this is like the no good bag. And then down at the bottom, I have my whip bag so that I can work on something. So like just in case, like I've been told that it's good or it looks good on you to work on a project while you're at a market, especially during the downtime so that people know that you actually made it. So yeah, we have that down there. Everything's in here. I do still have my table runner or whatever, my shower curtain. It's finished. It's in the bathroom right now, still drying out a little bit. So I can show you guys that tomorrow. It's time to go to bed because we now plan on leaving at 10:30. So we can stop at Publix. We may or may not pick up some candies. My husband thought it would be a good idea, and I'm not opposed to it. And also we need to pick up snacks for ourselves just in case we get hungry. It's time. I had a mishap this morning, but I'll tell you guys about it later. We're trying to scramble to get the car and go grocery shopping. Not groceries, something shopping. Okay, we're on our way now. And on our way to Halloween Horror Nights. Just kidding. It's Wicked Wilds at Plant City. We got snacks, we got energy drinks, we got candies. What else? We got water. And I think there was like, oh, we got more cash because we needed more 5s and 1s just in case. Plus, like, it helps us pull out money from the bank because I think I said this earlier in another vlog that it's probably a good idea to have cash on you. Yeah, it's about 55 minutes from here where we're at right now to get to where we need to go. So, on our way. Look how pretty. Hello, husband. Hello. Everything is all set up. We have over on this side my little Batwing colors. And then we have our little candies. I didn't practice this run, but these ones are just gonna wiggle. It's okay. But hello, Mr. Moneyman. I didn't mention it earlier, but it's camo. Wait, maybe I did mention it, but yeah, it's camo. We're the only ones with camo, but kind of blend in, right? There's just woods back there. Oh, we got a corner. We're right in the corner, which is really nice too. And like, kind of not nice as the sun, but that's all right. It's shaded because I have my umbrella. We made our first deal. So we sold one beret, the spiderweb beret, the showstopper one. And then we sold one of the dangles, but in black and purple. So it was $52 total. Okay, so there's live music. Husband got some peanuts for us. And yeah, this is pretty good. Like, we've had a lot of people come up and say cute. So that's pretty good. Honestly, that was all I hoped for. Well, also to make table. So we're still waiting to make table. But it's like, what time is it? It's like not even 4 yet. I don't know. Maybe it's 4. Yeah, it's 3:58. So it's been pretty fun. Like, honest, there's so many dogs, and that's probably been one of my favorite things is all the dogs. So this is great. We made table 5:34, and the sun setting, which is great. And we got an hour plus before the sun sets, and we've done really well. Like, I might have to bring out my no goods pile. I'm sad, but I'm also very happy. Somebody bought my blue blouse, like the one with spider webs all over it. I even told them, I'm like, I was hoping it went to a really good home, and it did. This person goes thrifting all the time, and I'm so happy and grateful. Also, there's a booth across from us, and it's the Bruton Library. They're doing story time, and it's the cutest thing. Like, adults and kids are sitting around being told stories, and I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so husband gave me a little bit of a break, so I'm gonna flip you guys around. Look how cute! All these inflatables. This little guy. This is so stinking cute. I want to find the piggy one. My husband said there's a piggy one. Look at this bat. So stinking cute. This little pumpkin guy. A little axolotl. Cute cat. Let me find the pig. For realsies. Oh, they're just so stinking cute. Okay, so I didn't think I was an inflatables person, but oh, these ones are so cute. These ones, little piggy, little devil piggy, he's my favorite. And then we got the little dynamite. I don't want to go in the tent, but I'm sure there's a little mini haunted house in there, but this is so cute. 1 hour left. So it's really cold now. It's like at least 10 degrees colder than it was earlier. And this light right here is attracting all the bugs. And our neighbor had a great idea of bringing bug spray, and we should do that in the future. Gotta think about that in the future. Hello, we are at the gas station, but the market is over. I don't know how much I made. I know I made table, and I know I owe my husband dinner because he told me if I hit 300, then I owe him dinner. And I also told him not to tell me what we made, but I'm incredibly impressed with how smoothly that went. Setup was fine. Breakdown, not as much fine. We struggled quite a bit, but I think that's fine. We got it figured out at the end. That was exciting. I'll tell you guys everything later, like all the details and everything I sold and how much and blah blah blah. But yeah, oh, also one of the vendors, Sweet Bites, hello, they gave us free cookies, so that was very sweet. So it was a good cookie. So yeah, ding. Alrighty, folks, we are home. We are sitting in this room. I haven't been able to sit in this room since like July because the table has been set up in here. I have a lot to talk about. In this book, my husband is so sweet. He book kept everything. He record kept for me in this little book. And in this little book tells us how much we made, what exactly we sold, and in what form of payment. I know the answer already, but I think it'd be fun to like just go through everything, tell you guys what I thought would sell, what I didn't think would sell, and like all that jazz, you know? I'm gonna kind of tidy up my hair maybe a little bit and put some on because I'm starting to feel pain. I thought I was going to be ready for this. And then I'm going to finish eating my grandma candy because almost every single kid, well, no, not almost every single kid. Quite a few kids came up to my booth and said, "Oh my God, I love grandma candies." And honestly, if that doesn't fit my art skill, I don't know what does. So be right back. So top items that I didn't think would sell would be my little star dangles and my clothing. I don't feel like pulling any of my clothing out. Well, I do have one that I could kind of show. I would say my crochet shrug. I didn't think they would sell at all. So that's my top for not thinking they'd sell. And then for top items I think would sell, these and my scrunchies right over here. I have a whole bunch of different colors, but I thought these would sell pretty well. Maybe the little candy bracelets. So let's start pulling stuff out of the bags because I I need to organize in some way, and that's going to help me organize. And then we'll go through kind of in order, but not really, of like what sold in order, but like I'll tell you how much, if that makes sense. Okay, okay, whatever. Before you started to, I'm sorry, I have ADHD. If you've watched any of my other previous videos, I think it's pretty apparent I have ADHD and I can't stay on top. I think it's really exciting that I'm doing this finally as an artist. And after watching so many market vlogs and doing this myself, like I might cry. I did start my period this morning, so I knew it was coming. Let's get started. So we're going to start off with the berets. The very first thing I sold was a spiderweb beret, and it was to this very kind woman and her husband. Like they just came up. They were there very early, maybe like 15 minutes early. They talked to us. I'm like, yeah, thank you. Like, you guys are very sweet. They were giving us feedback, interacting with us, telling us what they think would sell because they're Jeep owners. And then on top of that, like, there are people that love to go to markets, and like they were so stinking sweet. I let them know that this was my first market and I'm very excited to like do all these things. And yeah, anyways, I might cry about them because they were so nice. They bought $52 worth of stuff. A beret. They bought 2 berets. Or no, they bought one. They bought 1 beret. And in total with the spiderweb berets, because they bought the spiderweb beret, what was I saying? I don't know. I'm just so excited to talk about this because I haven't done this ever, and like whatever. Okay, so spiderweb beret. In total with the berets, I brought 6 and I came home with 2. I knew the glow in the dark ones would sell because that's an easy talking point. I didn't think that I'd sell 4. I only thought the glow in the dark ones would sell. And like I can't wait to keep on making more. I got 2 left, so I'm going to be working hard on getting this restocked. The 2 pastel ones didn't sell, which is fine, honestly. Somebody looked at this and said cinema roll, and somebody looked at this and said Kuromi. So I think I might do some Sanrio inspired characters because they were younger, those ones that liked these colors, and they didn't have quite that much money, which is fine. I know I inspired them. So, and then the kid came up and inspired me, talking about berets and all. She just looked at all of my berets and she's like, oh my gosh, you should make one, but like with Snoopy's head on it. And I'm like, actually, that might be a good idea. There's people that go to these things. They're like the Kentucky Derby, I think that's called. And they wear extravagant hats. And I think I want to expand more on my beret making. Like, these are great because they match my aesthetic. But like, that girl that gave me that advice, I'm like, actually, that's not a bad idea. I did give her my business card and I was like, hey, so I do put out free patterns and I do paid for patterns because she is a young artist. I think she says she's only been crocheting for like maybe a year or something. And she's like on and off. And I was like, dude, when I first started, I did it for 6 months and then I quit for 6 years and I got back to it. People ask me how long I've been crocheting. And I can't remember because it was on and off. But I think right now I can say like 4 or 5 years. I think I told people 6 years to include the 6 months that I did it in college. But anyways, actually, I'm just going to go through this and tell you guys how much I sold through this. Okay, that's how I'm going to do it. Next up, we have the vintage lace. I brought 3 of these and I came home with 2. So there was a lady that came through. She was looking at all my clothes. So I don't know if I showed you guys the whole entire tent. If I were able to give you guys like the outside of the tent, I had my clothes hanging from the tent, and that helped draw in a lot of people because the print that I had was in the front was the little heart with the spider webs on it. So that being said, it just drew in a lot of eyes because it's a unique clothing style. She looked at all those. And I think those clothes probably could be labeled kids' clothes because they're just for very tiny people. Anyways, going back, that drew in a lot of eyes and she saw the rest of the table. And going back to that, my husband was like, hey, I think it's a really good thing that your table is so colorful because it draws in a lot of attention because a lot of people just have like the monotone thing, but you have a lot of color going. And I didn't think of that. I did, but I guess I really do. She looked at my table for a very long time. She has a small head. She wanted a beret and I didn't have time to like pull out because she was looking at one of these berets I didn't have time to pull it out because this is one of the smaller ones. And so I was like, oh, I do have a smaller head version right here. But when I wear the berets, because I make them a little bit bigger for myself as well, I clip them in because mine don't exactly fit right. So she took a gander and ultimately, well, she left and then came back and ultimately decided on just getting a beret with the vintage lace on it. And she got the teal one. I don't remember what I called it online, but she got the teal one. That's how she called it. And I'm so happy that I went to a good home because I honestly and truly didn't believe that these would sell because they're kind of expensive. I was selling them for $35 and she bought it for $35. By the way, I did not charge taxes. I know I should have, but I don't know how to calculate that at this moment. So all that money that I'm getting taken out, it's going to be 7% sales tax, I think. I don't remember. It's Polk County, maybe less than that. Whatever it is, we'll deal with it in the future. All right, let's go to the next thing. Also, side note, all my business cards were, well, most of my clothing or items, accessories, whatever, had my business card attached. That was extremely helpful because we had a couple customers, I guess, ask for a business card. And I was like, hey, it's already actually attached, but I can give you another one if you'd like. This is a really good idea. I'm so glad I didn't get anything printed on the back because first of all, that was more expensive. And second of all, I can customize each of them. I don't have my Insta or my, TikTok on here. I have my Etsy and Ko-fi. So I need to like integrate that somehow, but it's the same name on Instagram and TikTok. So hopefully they'll be able to find me through there. I don't know. My YouTube is obviously different because my YouTube is actually based on me and not my shop. It was going to be based on my shop, but no. So anyways, next up are the Batwing, Batwing bandanas. So these ones, the regular ones, they're so sparkly. People looked at them. I think they're just a little bit too plain Jane. So nobody really wanted them. Anyways, we came back with 4. And then the bamboo ones came back with 2. And that's okay. I will continue bringing them as a, like, I have it on the table type of deal, but it's not going to be one of the main focuses. The way I had it L-shaped, and most of the things on this side didn't sell, but almost everything on this side, well, everything that sold was mostly on this side, the front table. So I think that may have affected it. Maybe, I don't know. Bandanas didn't really sell well. I'm not gonna lie. I thought bandanas would sell better. Spoiler. But yeah, moving on. The rave bandanas, thought I would sell better. I think their placement was a little bit weird too, but also it's the bandana for kerfuffle. What? It's the bandana thing. And kerfuffle, that's what the word is. I think it was a really good idea. I know it was a really good idea to bring that UV light. I, at the end of the day, had 2 people come up to my table. They were kind of in a group together. They own the Mossy Hollow. Well, they run the Mossy Hollow Woods. I can't remember exactly how they call it, but the Mossy Hollow thing, it's another market. And last year it was held in February. They came up to my table. I was like, oh, so I have these ones and they shine with the UV light, or they react to UV lighting. And that absolutely like blew them away. And they said they'd get in touch with me, which is super, super kind. The way that they talked me up, and they were like, we look for very unique artists, and we haven't seen an artist that, or a crochet artist, or I don't know exactly how they said it, but we haven't seen somebody use UV in their art before. And that's so unique. We'd love to reach out to you in the future. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I will absolutely love to be reached out to, because I actually looked at their market and I was like, oh, maybe one day I can do that one. So I do need to get some more UV reactive yarn because they were interested in it. So anyways, next up is the rave. We have 4 left and 2 left. So that leaves us with 6. And we started off with 7. I ended up selling one of these to a mom who she was a little rave kid, and her daughter, now 20 years old, is a rave kid. And I talked to her. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was a little scene kid, and I really, really love seeing all these little scene kids grow up, and I'm like, oh my god, my culture is like still being passed on. And it's just so cute seeing younger people get into the glow in the dark stuff. Like, I'm not saying inherently seeing kids love glow in the dark stuff, but a lot of us ended up in the rape scene. Seeing kids, we were just like the random kids growing up. We either ended up listening to a lot of metal at the end of the day, listening to a lot of metal, staying where we were, going and listening to maybe EDM. Like, we ended up going everywhere. Most of us ended up listening to everything. That's what scene kids were. We weren't like stuck to one genre. I think that's what a lot of people don't realize about the scene kids. Yeah, sure, there's the scene kids that really just love metalcore, but a lot of us were just the random, random kids. Sorry, my grandma candy's in the way. Going back to the lady that bought it. She bought it for her daughter for her birthday because she's a little raver, little candy raver. And that makes my heart so happy that I can like help further fashion that way. I felt like this one would have moved, and it did. We sold one, the orange and black one. Honestly, I should have sold stuff or thought about the school colors, the local school colors. That may have worked and helped. But like, I don't like that. I kind of like, I mean, I do because like it would help with money, but like also I like, I don't know, like I'm the type of person that likes to make things that I like to make and I'd wear. We sold the orange and black one. We almost sold the pink and black one to that lady, the rave lady, but we ended up selling something else to her. And yeah, it's fine. This one's also UV reactive, so I'm definitely buying more of this. This was a big twist, so I had to buy more of the bright screaming colors because I know people would like that. I personally like more pastels. No, well, it depends on my mood. I like a lot of pastels. I do love bright screaming colors, and I do love a lot of darker colors. So in the future, I will be doing this. We sold one. Yippee! All right, so last but not least for the bandanas, we went with 3 of these shell stitch bandanas. We came home with 3. I think for the next market, I'm probably going to leave this one home because it's definitely Halloween flavored, or I'll put it in my pile of put out if I'm running out of stuff. But I have the lime green on the back. A lot of people asked if they glow in the dark. I think this was one of the things that they asked if glows in the dark, and they do not. But I have a lot of ideas now because a lot of kids liked the glow in the dark idea. And I think even some of the adults liked it. By kids, I mean like preteen to teenagers, because a lot of the younger kids, they saw the candy and it great idea by my husband, by the way. Like, I thought about it and I was like, no, maybe not, because I don't want to feel like I'm scamming people to come to my table. But these kids, they have like laser eyes. They would come up to the table, bring their family, and their family would come back. So great idea, especially since it's a Halloween one. And we were able to be like, happy Halloween, trick or treat. Like, such a cute little thing. This was such a fun event. And for it to be the first one, I don't know how the rest of the event was because I was like, sorry, he has a lot to say. I don't know how the rest of the event was because I kind of wanted to stay in my booth because I was just so nervous. I have social anxiety. That's what I told the ladies at the end of the booth, end of the night too. She's like, oh, have you met Citrine Ghost? Citrine Ghost is how I found out about this market because she posted on TikTok and I was like, oh my God, that's local to me. I'm going to try to do it. I personally feel like I did really well. From what I've seen from the families, like, it was a really cute little event. I just learned that they were playing Hocus Pocus in the theater. There were 3 metal bands. I think they were, besides one, mostly cover bands. 2 of them played Avenged Sevenfold, which I was like, whoa. But kind of makes sense if you have a really good guitar player. One of them was playing Bat Country, and I was like, you have to have chops for that. And then for the last band, they played Hail to the King, and I'm like, wow, these kids, like, they were all pretty young, I think. Well, no, maybe one wasn't, and I wish I could have watched. I'm really sad, but I'm glad with where we were. We were far enough from the stage that we didn't have to shout over everything. I would have loved to watch them, though. I would have loved. But anyways, let's get back to this. Moving on to the berets, we have the Universe beret, and we started off with 3, came home with 2. I didn't know this, but my husband, he's so attentive, and I I love him so much. Like he sold some stuff. Like he upsold quite a few things by shining the UV light over them. And one of them was the Universe Beret. RIP to this beret, to me at least, because I can't afford tariffs and I can't get this yarn in anymore. But I sold the green one, which it's UV reactive. I guess he just shined it over. He's like, "Oh my god, that's my favorite one," and he tried to get that one sold, and he did. That was his goal, and he sold it. So we sold one of these guys, and I'm very happy. This is one of the smaller ones, and I posted it at 30, hoping that I'd sell, and it did. Yee. Then next up, we have the Rave. So we had started with 2, and we left with 2. Oh no, we started with 3, left with 2. This beret and this beret. Both of these were sold to those 2 ladies that came up to the table at the end of the night. The lady that bought the pink one of the Rave beret, she is going for a Decora look because she went through the doll's house at HHN. She's like, since you're the expert, we went through HHN, and I was like, how did you know? But that's not what the question was. It was about Decora. And she showed me the dress that she's going to wear, and it's like this kind of flowery dress. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think that my style is very Decora. I do have Decora pieces or things that you could use if you're into Decora, but I think Decora is more plasticky and more like there's more sound to it. And somebody advised her that if she's doing Decora, then she needs to go more handmade. And I'm like, okay. I am more into the VK Lolita style. I wouldn't even say Lolita at this point. I think I'm more GIK, and that's just an accidental coincidence that the 1940s summer style kind of looks like GIK, just very basic down version of it. I was talking to her about like just J fashion in general. Like, I will say a lot of people came up to me because I was the only J fashion person there, which makes sense because J fashion isn't very popular. And I think that's one of the reasons why those people came up to me at the end and said, hey, you have a very unique thing going. It's J fashion, it's kawaii. Like, we had one person came up to me, really wanted to look at my booth, and they look so cute. Like, their whole entire like group looked so cute, but they needed to get out of there. So they took my business card, and I hope that I get to see them again in the future because I don't get to see very many J fashion people IRL, except for maybe at HHN. And I'm not trying to meet people at HHN. I'm just trying to enjoy my time there and maybe get some fashion inspo. But yeah, I think that that's such a fun little thing about my fashion, my style that people can get behind. And I'm very grateful that people look at my style and they're like, oh, that's unique because that's what I want to do. I want to be unique. And it's not like an individuality thing kind of unique, but in a way of like, you can personalize your avatar any way you want. Literally do whatever you want. And I'm sure people will like it. Somebody will like it. Somebody will appreciate the art that goes into your fashion. So anyways, moving on. We started off with four yeah, 4. I only wrote 3, but we started off with 4 of these sparkle berets, and we came out with 4. So I personally don't like them myself. I just don't really like them. So I have a feeling that they're going to be on my table for quite a while. Maybe if I make it into the Mossy Hollow, they might sell because they're more grassy colors. So maybe in the future they will, but I wasn't bothered that they weren't going to sell because personally, yeah. So I gotta rewrite that. I'm like editing in here, doing inventory. I think it was better that I went through this rather than through what my husband wrote down. And then last for the berets, we had a lot of people look at this, but not a lot of people wanted to purchase because it was kids that wanted it. And they weren't like the parents with the kids, they didn't want to spend that much money, which is fine. Like, I totally understand fashion is expensive, especially handmade fashion. And I won't be offended if anybody's like, oh, that's too expensive. It is expensive. And I think personally, I value myself a little bit lower, and that's okay. If I don't sell it, I don't sell it. I'm able to sell smaller things. So anyways, going back to it, we have the mushroom berets. We started off with 3, ended up with 3. Had a lot of people looking at it though. And these are UV reactive. I did show that to the two that came up to my table with Mossy Hollow. I don't think that this was the right place to sell it. Like, it's a great place to show it off. Speaking of, with the money I made, I'm going to buy another one of these guys because, one, I deserve it. Two, I think it would have helped some of my berets because I just had them kind of laying everywhere. And I really want to be able to show off more of my art because this is my own design, even though it's not really my own design because you can literally just do dots everywhere. I sent an email or like a website to my sister-in-law about like this cottage witch hat pattern on YouTube that was free. And I was like, just make dots, like just do magic circles and then just do however many wide and then just stick them on. That's like, it's not your own design. I mean, the beret may be my own design. I think I made it wide. There's a free pattern online, but I think this one's bigger than the free pattern. Started with 3, ended with 3. I'm okay that I still have 3 left because if I make it into the Mossy Hollow, I think it would do much better. If I were to ever sell at Ren fairs, which I want to one day, because I do love Ren fairs, I lack the creativity to be a Ren fair artist or no, attendee because there's a lot of LARPing that goes on with that. I was a band kid and I have a very like linear brain thought. I'm not very creative when it comes to storytelling. So yeah. Alrighty, this bag is tied and ready for the next time I go out to market. This one has everything that I have in here and then some bandanas I didn't bring with me. I have my Pride bandanas in here because that area kind of more right-leaning than where I'm at. So I honestly didn't expect anything to move, but we did have quite a few people come to the table and we were like, oh, they have some Pride stuff, which is like, dang, maybe I should have brought my Pride stuff. But anyways, got some of those and some of the spiderweb bandanas. You don't really need to know all that, but this is ready to be packed up, set to the side for my next market. Next up, we have these amigurumi hearts. I'm not going to pick up all of them because it's a handful. We started off with 8 of these and we came back with 7. And I wasn't actually expecting any of these to sell, but there's a little kid, quite a few kids loved it. They're like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. These will definitely come with me to Mossy Hollow if I get it, because I'm hoping it's around Valentine's Day if they do have, because it says early 2026. There's been no updates. I've been checking their Facebook. I think that's where they're most active. I got a lot of attention on these. Quite a few people wanted them, but then they put them down to look at the other stuff in my booth. I think more people are trying to find stuff because there were 2 other crochet vendors there and they were both amigurumi artists. And I would much rather they pay money to those artists than me because I am a fashion accessories designer. I only brought them to grab attention. So maybe I can pass them off to my sister-in-law. Maybe she'll want to sell them. I don't know. These aren't very Halloween-y, so. But anyways, one sold to a little kid, and it was cute. This is where my brain started going crazy. Well, crazy is not the right word, but getting off topic. Instead of going through more plushes, I went back to clothes. Next up, I have my bat collars. I honestly thought that this would sell a lot better. We had a lot of people asking if I made them for dogs, if they were dog collars, and if I had bigger ones for dogs. Good to know. In the future, I absolutely will be making more. I had one lady interested in it for herself, and she was a plus-size woman. It did not fit around her neck, and I took that as constructive criticism, and I will be absolutely expanding the size range of this before I put this online, because I don't want anybody to feel left out when I make my clothing. The only reason why I brought my clothes with me, the things that I sold, is because I had inclusive sizing with the Skelly Shrugs, or because they were things that I've worn and I could personally tell them, hey, this just doesn't fit me anymore and I hope it goes to a good home. That's the only reason why I brought some of my clothes. This not being inclusive, shame on me. I need to do better. And I want to do better. Before I put this online, it is going to be one of those things. I need to figure out how to do that, how to expand this, because I absolutely think that this is an amazing little thing I have. I will be going fabric shopping soon. I will purchase this fabric again so that I can have more inclusive sizes, because it's not fair to the people who are smaller or larger to me. A lot of people ask for bigger sizes for their dogs too, smaller sizes for their dogs. One person asked for something for their hamster. It wasn't this in particular. However, I think this needs a lot more work before I sell it. Constructive criticism taken. Next up, we have my defrosting skelly shrug. I started off with 4 and I came home with 2. I wasn't expecting any of them to sell, to be completely honest. I did have one kid towards the end of the night. I told her, feel free to try on. We have this mirror over here. I'm so grateful that I brought the mirror because that helped out a lot. A lot of people were like very grateful that I had something to show it off. The first one I sold was the lime green one. She looked at it, asked me if I made customs, if I made them in different sizes. And I was like, yeah, I kind of do. Like, I haven't opened up my thing yet for that, but I do plan on in the future to do so. And in that, I was able to get her to come back and try it on. Because like the first time she just walked by, looked at it and was like, that would have been great for this venue, this metal thing that we went to, this concert we went to, the show we went to. Sorry, I can't remember. I don't remember what it was called because I've never heard of it because it's not local to us. But she's like, this would have been perfect last week up there. And I was like, oh, dang. And she's like, don't worry, I'll go to other shows. This is going to be perfect for that. I'm like, oh, great. So she tried it on, loved it. I told her it's going to stretch out over time because that's just how yarn works. And she bought it. I'm so happy that she did because I honestly thought that would sell first if I sold anything. And it did with the defrosting Skelly Shrugs at least. And she bought it. And that makes my little heart so happy. A little bit closer towards the end, there was a girl that came up and I was like, feel free to try it on if you like. She's like, oh, how much is it? I was like, it's 50. And she's like, 50. I'm like, yeah, it takes a long time to make, but I do have other things here if you want something cheaper. And I feel bad, but like also, I think 50 is on the lower end. Oh, the last lady asked me, like, how long does it take? I'm like, each arm takes about 3 to 4 hours about. I don't remember. It's been a while since I made these, to be honest. But I was like, it takes about 3 to 4 hours to make the arms each, and then the bodice about 2 to 3 hours each side. And yeah, so it's a long time to make this. And I think I may have been on the dot with that. It was really, really awesome that she wanted that so badly. And like, I think the top that she bought, I wouldn't have put her in that size. I would have put her in a little bit larger size, but she was okay with it. Especially when I told her it'd probably stretch out. So that's wonderful. I'm very grateful. And like, I did bring extra yarn with me just in case anybody wanted me to adjust. There was one person at the very end that purchased it. She's like, oh, I'm sad. Cause like, you probably don't have any plus size, do you? I'm like, actually, I try to make everything inclusive. Like I have the very small, the mid-range, and this is my plus size right here. If you want it, you can try it on. Honestly, I could have put her in the mid-range, but she was okay with the plus size and she loved it. And she kept on like flapping her arms. I'm like, I do the same exact thing. And I'm so happy that she bought it. I let her purchase it for $40. That's the one I finished at the market because the yarns were 2 different colors. And I even told her, I'm like, it's 50, but they're 2 different yarns. So I'll knock it down to 40. And the person, I don't know if it was her partner or not, but they were in costume because it was a costumed event. And I didn't know that until people started showing up in their Halloween costumes. And people like were complimenting me on my Halloween costume. I'm like, this is just the way I dress. But anyways, that person was like, oh, you shouldn't have told her that because she has OCD and she's going to notice. I'm like, oh, sorry. Everybody in their party was trying to figure out what was different. And I'm like, I'll give you a hint. In the light, it's a little bit different. And my husband even chimed in. He's like, I was watching her play with it and work on it. And I looked at it and I couldn't tell the difference. But to be fair, I'm colorblind and they couldn't tell. So I was like, the black yarns are a little bit different. And they're like, oh, okay, well, thanks for letting us know. They still didn't notice it. I hope they never notice it. It was a really good sale, especially the fact that I am plus size friendly. I want to be that inclusive pattern maker, inclusive clothing maker. I never want to sell anything unless it's something I made for myself. I never want to sell anything that is like drop a line without having inclusive sizes because it's not fair to everybody. I am somebody who loves community. Even though I have social anxiety, I love community, and I like having everybody feel like they belong, they fit in, especially as somebody who grew up ADHD, unknowing. I want everybody to feel included. So I might cry over this. I just started my period, so I might cry over that. I'm so happy that 2 people bought these. So now I have to remake them and do a different color range. I think I'm going to do hot pink this next round because hot pink is one of my favorite colors. I may do a pastel range. I'm going to look through my finances because I had to pay myself back for everything for the booth table and all that jazz. I paid myself $200 because that's about how much it took to buy like the mannequin head, to pay for table costs, to pay for a bunch of other stuff. So, all right, moving on to the next one. This one was another one that drew in a lot of attention. These are wet. It got really cold and humid very fast last night, and I should have brought a jacket, but I didn't think it was going to get that cold. And there was a lot of bugs still. We were getting bit up at the end of the night, so luckily our car was right down there. This got a lot of attention. I think the biggest issue with this, well, a lot of people looked at it and they're like, oh, is it a skirt? I'm like, no, it's actually shorts, which, great. I need to find this pattern, not this fabric, because I can't find this fabric ever again because it was a Joann exclusive. But I need to find the pattern for this because I got a lot of attention on this and it deserves its roses. It needs to be dried. I can't touch it anymore. It's just so soaking wet. But I need to get that and make that pattern quite a few times, make shorts out of that, inclusive sizing. I think a lot of people would enjoy wearing that. Actually, since we're here, the clothing, I already showed you guys what the clothes look like. I'll tell you guys that I got attention on most of it. I did sell that spiderweb one, and I told you guys I'm almost immediately. Then I had a couple sales after that, so it took me a little while to get to y'all. But the only clothing item that I made for myself that I sold was the spiderweb blouse, the light blue one. Very, very happy that it went to good home. I talked to them about it. I was like, hey, so I will warn you, I did wear it a couple times. It is probably a little bit of wear and tear. I'm sorry. That's why it's like a cheaper price. If it was something I made fresh, then it would have been much more expensive. Well, I didn't say all that part, but they tried it on over their clothes, loved it. I was able to give them all the little details. I think that's what really sold them, was the fact that I gave them the details. I told them how sad I was to put it in the pile of need to sell. They told me that they go thrifting all the time. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I love that you do that. And like, I was able to tell them about darts and pleats and tucks. So they know that I was like not a professional, but I know my shit. They were very, very sweet and they loved it. And I'm glad that it went to a good home. I told them that I looked really good with high-waisted stuff, and they're like, perfect. I love high-waisted clothes. That's the only thing of my me made for me clothing items that sold. Everything needs to go in the wash. Oh, this one got quite a few attention. I got somebody talking to me about this. Oh, it's wet. Everything is wet. I can't touch it. But that one also had somebody try it on. They gave me constructive criticism. They're like, hey, so next time maybe try to make it to where the collar isn't so high up. And I'm like, yeah, that's honestly the biggest reason why I'm selling it, because I can't with it. The collar is way too high and it doesn't feel comfortable to me anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may or may not just donate it because I don't want it in my closet anymore. This one got a little bit of attention. This one got a few eyes on it. And then I have another one. The button broke. Let me go grab it. Well, the person that tried on the cowboy top also tried this one on. And I think I should have said that it was a 34-inch because she was 37-inch bust. The button broke, and that's not on her. That was absolutely my fault because this button breaks off all the time. It just tears at the yarn thread, and I can't even find the button. I think I might just replace all these buttons, salvage them, and then figure something else out for these buttons. I'll probably just do, I gotta figure something out. I have to find a button this shape. I have to go to that fabric shop anyways, so I will be bringing these with me as a sample so I can find something around this size. And then I will be reconstructing this, not reconstructing, but just adding those buttons back on and then selling it because I can't wear it myself. It's just too short on me and I don't like the way it fits. All in all, I sold 3 clothing items. So this one, I was not expecting it to do as well as it did, but we have our little candies. We started off with 15. Let me see how much we got left. We have 7 left. So we sold about half of them. Honestly and truly, great. Like, so many kids looked at it. Even some adults looked at it. And I think it was at a good price point because, like, some people sell their candy for $5 for a single. The fact that I have my amigurumi attached to it, I think that helped out a ton. So $7 for these. All my I Heart Boobies one, that one sold. Like, the kids got a kick out of it. Even the parents thought it was fun. I gave them a background story to it. And I was like, yeah, so I was a little scene kid growing up. So as a scene kid, we kind of had those little bracelets, and some of them knew what I was talking about. Some of the parents weren't as alternative, but I was able to tell them that background story. Some of them looked at it and said, duck you. And they're like, oh, that's so funny. And then the ghoulish and ghoul ones, like, a lot of them were looking for the colors. I will be purchasing more beads. I think I might use my own money for that one. The way that I have it set up, the cash, we're keeping the cash in the house for emergencies. I took $200 from my card sales, put it in my bank account to reimburse myself for the startup fees. And then whatever's left is what I'm using for, like, purchasing more stuff. I love giving out candy in general for, like, HHN. So I think and it's pretty cheap. So I think I'm going to just use some of my own personal money to up my bulk. I do need to get better storage for it though. Right now they're in a paper bag from Bath and Body Works that is on its last limbs. So I got to figure that all out. But yeah, this was such a good little idea. I'm going to do frogs next time, I think. People were telling me I should do, like, white ducks, which I agree. And I just thought it was fun to do multicolored ducks because it's just fun. The ghosts, people love the ghosts. The I Heart Boobies, like I said, sold out. So future me will be working on these. Ooh, also, there was a family, 3 kids. Father suggested, how about I do 3 for $20 because I was selling them $7 each. So 14, what did he say? 3 for 15. Yeah, 3 for 15. I was like, yeah, honestly, buy 2, get 1. I'm not opposed to that because, like, these, the ducks take a long time to make. I'm probably not going to do ducks again. I don't know, maybe. These little guys, super easy to make. The beads cost nothing. So I think the 3 for 15, since he suggested it to me, I was okay with it. I'm not going to put it on my pricing. But if in the future somebody wants to come up to me and say, give me a deal like that, buy 2, get 1 $1. Good deal, I think, especially since he had 3 kids and it worked out. I'm not going to pick all of them up, but scrunchies are next on the list. I started off with 15 and I came home with 13. So I sold 2 of them, and I thought these would sell a little bit more because people talk about how they are scrunchie sellers. These are my scrap yarn fabrics or projects. I literally, if I have enough on a skein to do this, I will. But it's just one of those, I may or may not have scrunchies. I have a ton of them. They're actually in the box that y'all are sitting on. So these are going to go back in there. These are one of those, like, grab bag things. Like, if somebody wants to support me, I did have somebody give me a $1 tip or donation, or rather, because they didn't feel like purchasing anything. They did see my stuff and they were, like, really into my stuff, but I think they ended up purchasing something bigger. So they just gave me a tip, which is really, really kind. That's, like, what the goal for these were. And in general, it's like, if somebody wants to purchase something, give me a donation, they can get one of these. Maybe in the future, I might just put them in a bag if somebody purchases something big. Speaking of bag, I think for sure in the future, I will be making or purchasing bags. I don't know if I want to purchase, but I probably have quite a few scrap fabrics I can make bags out of, and then I'll just put my name on them. I want to get more into painting, so that's a great way to do it. In my book, I wrote down 8, but actually started off with 10 of these star hair clips. I now have 7 left. I was like, I know I sold 3 or 2 at least, but I think I remember the third one. So I sold the green ones and then one of these guys, it looks like, because that's what's in my inventory. I don't remember selling the third one, to be honest, but the 2 green ones. I remember selling it to this group of 3 girls, and they were like looking at this or looking at like the little zombie guy. I have 7 left of these. I'm not surprised that they didn't sell because it's kind of a niche thing to do, to stick something like this in your hair. This one, honestly and truly, I didn't think would sell either, and I forgot that I had them in my pile because like it's kind of a weird thing to do, like just stick it on your head or stick them right here. That I was suggesting here or here, and a lot of people, like, because I explained that, I think that helped a lot. I started off with 5 of these and I came home with 2. I'm very happy that these ones sold, to be honest. I will definitely be making more, and I will be doing a little bit different down here. I will probably be making some of these guys as little candies. Sorry, I'm getting tired. I don't normally do this. I won't be doing this again for a long time. Then we have our candy corns. Started off with 5, ended up with 2, and I know that this pattern that I used had eyeballs attached. I didn't want to do the eyeballs because I thought it was pretty silly. Worked out perfectly because one of the kids that got it was a baby, like in a wagon baby, and those little safety eyes are not safe for children that small. So it works out because it's a little, and they can chew on it if they want. I hope they don't, but they can. Very soft stuff. I wasn't expecting this to sell. And like I said, if there's amigurumi artists there, I'd rather them get the sales as opposed to me. But yeah, we got these little guys. Started off with 5, ended up with 3. We're getting towards the end. I'm almost done. So we have this guy. This needs to sit out to dry a little bit. But we had one person very interested in it. They used all their money by the time they came to us because we were at the very front. So there's 2 entrances. We were on the main entrance side where like all the inflatables were like a little bit behind us. And that's where the bathrooms were back there if you were coming from out of town. So there was 2 sets of bathrooms. And on the set of bathrooms that were closer to the stage, they actually had like an electric powered one. I'm pretty sure it was electric powered because like they had like a little, they're called bumblebees. So it's a little thing to prevent you from tripping over the wires. It just goes over the wires. That was attached to that bathroom. There was a family bathroom to that one, and then there, a regular bathroom. And then there was also, of course, the porta potties. We were close to a lot of the activity. People would have to, like, cross section, have to see us to get to their car. We were at the best spot. I cannot believe how well we were, like, for my first market, being right there, being the first crochet artist a lot of the people saw. It's incredible. Like, I cannot believe how good of a placement I got. So anyways, they ended up spending their money, but they wanted to purchase this. It was $30, and I didn't want to lower the price because Royal Velvet is so stinking expensive. Only one side is Royal Velvet. The back side is, I think, just regular blanket yarn. And so this needs to sit out to dry. I'm going to put it over here in the sunlight. Next up, we have the Moonlight Dreams. I started calling it Moonlight Dreams. I didn't want these to sell, which is great. I had them way up here at the top. I had one up at the top, and I don't think that people realized that it was for sale, which is perfect for me. Maybe I'll put some online. This one I'm going to do not for sale, I think. I'm going to probably take the tag off. This one needs to dry too, but it didn't sell. So we have 2 of them. Which way? Yeah, that way. Yeah. And then last but not least, we have these guys over here. I'll pull them up. We have 5 of these guys left. We started off with 6, and I thought that these would sell more. They did not. We only sold 1. And then we have these guys. Let me count. We started off with 10. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we ended up with 6. I super surprised that these ones sold. I didn't think these would sell at all. I think it really helped that I was able to like show off how I use mine. I use mine in my hair. The first person to buy it was the first customer. And I was like, yeah, I wear them in my hair. And she's like, oh, as if I need more stuff in my hair. I'm like, honestly, that's one of my favorite ways to accessorize is hair, because like there's only so much you can do. I mean, there's a lot you can do with torso down, but like hair is such an important part for a lot of people, especially me when I wasn't allowed to customize hair down growing up because like my mom was extremely religious, and I will remind you guys how bad, like, I don't want to say bad, but how conservative my growing up was. When I would go to school, I would do my hair on the bus and then brush it out when I got home. So I think for a lot of kids, it's very similar. They're not allowed to customize their avatar this way down because their parents buy their clothes, but this way up, they can do their best. I dyed my hair as a kid and my mom was so mad, but my best friend at the time, his mom did it for me, and I love her and I have so much respect for their family for letting me be me because they wanted me to be who I am. I'm so grateful for them. Anyways, I told people, like, you could wear them in your hair, you could wear them on like your belt loop to hang down, or you could put them on a bag. One person bought 2 of them. My husband sold those ones and I wasn't there for that because I was busy talking to the other customers about the cowboy shirt, sorry, and all that. But he sold 2 of them and they both immediately put it on their bags. Like, well, one person bought 2 of them for her and her friend, I think, immediately put it on their bags. Yeah, that makes me so happy that I was able to inspire people to fashion themselves with these. These ones also, they are UV reactive, and that really helped people want to buy these. So I will probably have to find this yarn again. It is from Michaels, because this is the one that people liked a lot. This color is the one I sold first, but this, oh, this one had something coming out. Oops, that's probably why this one didn't sell. But yeah, that's all I have for sales. So let me like reorganize myself and then I will tell you the rest. I did the math wrong somewhere here. For me, with my calculations, I have 34 items sold, but for my husband, we have 38. I'll get that figure out later. Give me 1 second. I didn't do the math for the cash versus card. On second thought, I don't feel like doing it. So I want to get this video edited so I can take a shower and then meet up with my best friend Clark. We're going to HHN one last time before they're locked out for the rest of the year, and to get one last run of a couple things together. All in all, for my first experience doing a market, it was an incredible experience. I got to meet so many people. I will be in touch with the Mossy Hollow folks because they were so kind to me, and I really, really hope to make it into their market in the future. If not, that's okay. I need some time to build up my inventory again. I made more money than I would at work in 1 week. Even if I worked 5 days, I still made more doing this. I made $603. That's a lot. I I I was not expecting it. I absolutely did not think that people would like my art this much and that people would be this excited to see my booth. Not that they were there to find me in general, but the fact that people were excited to see something like my booth. A lot of people said, "Oh my gosh, kawaii." And there were a lot of people that are like, "That means cute in Japanese." And then like the fact that people commented on my namesake and they're like, "Oh, I really like your business name and all that jazz." Thank you so much. This has been an incredible experience, and I hope to only get better and to be more inclusive with my clothing and to bring more fashion to the world, because that's, at the end of the day, what I want is to be a fashion designer, no matter how long it takes. I hope to just keep on continuing making fashion and getting out there in the world and showing people that fashion should be inclusive and fashion can be literally anything you want. It's not just the beige, whatever they're calling us. You can do whatever you want with fashion. And wow, what an incredible experience. I'm going to get off of here before I cry, but thank you for all the support that y'all have given me. I know I'm a very, very small artist on here, and even on my other social media sites, I am a very small creator, but with all the support that I've gotten for my fashion taste, for everything that I do, I'm gonna cry. But like, everybody has been so supportive of me, and I couldn't ask for better people in my life. I never thought that I would get to this point where people would like accept me. Stop crying. But like, I'm so grateful for everybody that's been so kind to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to continue this. Okay, gonna go cry.